now let me ask you a question. How many of you at some time thought that AI is going to take your job? Nobody?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. How many of you feel thrilled about AI? Okay. And how many of you at some point of your career just asked ChatGPT something and copied and pasted without even thinking about what it said? Okay, nice. So now let me tell you a story about a client of mine. Imagine it was ordinary Monday morning. People were drinking coffee, some of them were answering emails, some of them were preparing for the work week, and suddenly a mail comes in and it says, starting from today, we are integrating AI in almost everything we do. And at that moment, you can feel everybody like that. They are looking at each other. You can feel tension in the room, and people are wondering what is going on. But anyway, the CEO said they are integrating AI, and they start doing that. Three months after that, the CEO of the company calls me and says, okay, we integrated AI, but our productivity is not going up, just the opposite, it is going down. What should we do? And I'm thinking, okay, couldn't you call me earlier for that? So, here is the problem. They introduced a lot of new tools, but they haven't prepared their people for what is coming on. So, the problem here is not a technology problem. It is a neuroscience, neural system problem, because the people in an area, in an environment where everything is changing, need to be prepared to better accept that. And now I want to introduce you Alex. Alex is like an image, a persona who collects all the reactions of the people to AI. It's a single person because it would be easy for me to explain what happens in his head, but actually it happens in the heads of a lot of people in our team. And now let me ask you, how many of you are managers, leaders of a team? How many people are responsible for people? Okay, so you can then understand what Alex is feeling and see it from the perspective of a manager. So the moment that Alex heard about the AI transformation, several thoughts appeared in his head. First of all, it's something interesting, and AI could help us. Then, should I already know what is this AI, what are these tools, and what I can do with them? Then, okay, does the AI mean that my skills would soon become obsolete? What does it mean? And also, I will soon lose my job and maybe move in the forest or move under the bridge because AI would do everything that I do. And this is something that happens in the head of a lot of people. Do you know somebody who has thought these things? Yeah. Okay, so what Alex did, he started searching new jobs. He updated his LinkedIn profile and he searched, what are the jobs that AI cannot remove? Yeah, he did it. And he also asked Google, what are some things that I can do so that I can thrive in the era of AI? What are the what are the 4 things that happen in his brain? These are like small nightmares of the brain. And now I will explain it deeply. First of all, one thing that you should know is that your brain hates uncertainty. Our brain is like a prediction machine. So it wants to be sure of what is going on. Now I would like to ask you, cross your arms, as you normally do. And now cross them in the other way. How do you feel?
Really awkward.
It's weird. Yeah. So let me ask you, how many times you have been in situation when you continue doing something that you know that was feeling like it's not for you, but you just feel comfortable and you didn't want to make a step and to get out because it felt uncomfortable? Have ever happened to you? Yeah. Because our brain loves certainty. It doesn't want to grow, it doesn't want to get stretched, it just wants to stay in the comfortable, familiar way and to work in the way it works. So, usually the brain wants to know what happens next. It's very important. And with the AI, we don't know what will happen next. Then the brain asks, are we safe? It's very important for the brain to know, are we going to die, or are we staying in the same way, in the same capsule, in the same comfortable way? The brain wants to know, are we valuable? Because being valuable in the workspace, in the society, is something that keeps us alive and helps us to survive, especially in the prehistoric times. And the brain wants to know, do we belong? So, once we introduced the AI, all of that was scattered. And the brain's main job is to survive through prediction. And what the AI does to the brain is just to break all of this. So when we have uncertainty, our brain gets high alert. We receive mental fatigue because we are worried of everything that's going on, and decision cost increases. Because if the brain is not certain of what's going on, if it's difficult to predict, then it needs a lot of calories to work on the ways to survive, and we have more energy consumed. All of this happens because a small part in our brain, which is called the amygdala. It's like an almond. It's up here, and it is like the alarm system of the brain. And in the prehistoric times, the amygdala was the thing that saved our lives from tigers or from all predators. But our brain does not recognize if a predator is coming or if AI is coming, because both the physical predator or the psychological one, as the AI, both of them the brain treats as predators. And amygdala is very fast to react. When we see a threat, it gets activated in seconds. And in that way, the prefrontal cortex, which is the logical, the thinking part, gets blocked, and it is a part that reacts much slower. So the moment when we heard a new AI tool is introduced, our amygdala says, oh no, again, it's a threat for us. The cyber tiger is coming to eat us. So that is what happens. And the prefrontal cortex did some more times to calm down the amygdala and tell, okay, we will handle that. We will find a way to do it. So, let's continue. As I said, the amygdala does not only respond to physical danger, it also responds to psychological one. And psychological danger may be social rejection. If we don't know AI too, we may be socially rejected. It reacts to loss of status, to uncertainty, to unpredictability, and we are having that a lot, to embarrassment, to exclusion, or to loss of control. Do they sound familiar to you? Have you observed that in the era? Okay. So, from evolutionary perspective, if somebody in the tribe loses some of this, then the protection of the tribe is gone, the resources, the food is gone, the reproduction is gone, the knowledge is gone, and the belonging is gone. That's why our amygdala, when it feels threat, and when it sees the AI as threat, it gets started and it gets activated. So, what is important for the amygdala? I already said it. It prefers predictable pain than unpredictable change. That's why in a lot of teams you will hear, we have always done this way. It's too risky to implement a new tool. What if things get worse? We don't need that change. That's why some people oppose to all the transformation, because their amygdala is activated. And later we will understand how we can calm it down. So, when the brain feels threat, our mind, our consciousness goes from open, from curious, from creative, from learning and exploring, to closed, to defensive, to reactive, to protecting, and to withdraw. And in that way, we stop learning, we get panic, our attention narrows, our creativity drops, our learning slows, and experimentation decreases. It's a very exaggerated example of what happens in Alex's head, but usually you will see some people in the team or some colleagues who are experiencing similar effects. They may be milder, but it is something that happens. even though some of the people won't show it. So, how we can handle such situation, how we can help ourselves, or how we can help our colleagues who are experiencing stress because of the AI transformation. First, name, label what you are feeling, and don't be ashamed by that. If you are feeling frustrated by the new things, by the new tools, if you are feeling afraid that AI is going to take your job, just tell it. Don't be ashamed. Everybody is going through some challenges, and it's okay to name it. Then normalize it. Remain your brain. Tell yourself that uncertainty is different from a danger. Feeling uncertain, not knowing the future, does not mean that danger is coming. It means that we have to do something to stretch ourselves, to do a small step just to do a progression in the direction we want to go. And then narrow it. Bring focus to the next controllable step. If you are feeling overwhelmed by everything that is going on, then do just one small step in order to get out of this situation. Do you have questions? How does it sound to you? Yeah? Go.
I know that there is a lot of research on like growth mindset versus like the other mindset. How does it fit in this context?
Yeah. When we are having amygdala activated, our growth mindset becomes a fixed mindset.
Yeah.
So one thing that we can do is calm down our amygdala so that we can develop the growth mindset. And how we can do it? First, very important thing, to realize that getting out of what is comfortable, because our brain wants us to be comfortable, is something absolutely normal, and this helps us to develop and to grow. Then something very important, to keep experimenting, to keep learning, and to learn from our mistakes. It's very important to know that mistakes are a natural part of the path, and if we do mistakes, we can learn and continue. So it's something that we can do. But first of all, we need to work with our amygdala by naming what we are feeling and by doing one small step in order to progress. Does it answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. You can ask questions anytime. Just if you have questions, give me a sign and I will give you the mic, the virtual mic. Yeah. Yeah. I'm listening.
There are those people, I think, who would never even come to a conference to hear advice like this. What is this?
This is a present because you ask questions. So ask questions.
So, do you have any advice to like bring those people somewhere close to kind of awareness around the topic?
Mm-hmm. Okay, if they're teammates.
Yeah, if I spot that someone is like doing this,
Mm-hmm.
how could I like successfully guide this person to
Yeah.
understand a little bit?
Be honest with the person. Say what you are observing, and ask: do you want to share, to help you? Do you want to support you? Do you want to discuss this? I would guess that the person would be like pushing back, because usually people who don't accept AI or any change, they don't want to speak about it, and they don't want to be honest about it. So just do it very mildly and leave open space. So say, okay, I observe this and this. If you want to discuss it, I'm open. And you can also send some videos on the topic. I can send you the slides if it will help. That's something that you can do. But the important thing, when somebody does not want to change, you don't push. You just share what you observe. You don't put labels on the person. You share what you observe, and then you offer your help, but really non-intrusive. Does it?
Thanks
Yes?
a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So that was the first nightmare of the brain. The second one is cognitive overload. Any idea what it means?
Too much information.
Yeah, like a browser having 78 open tabs. Okay, now imagine the situation. You are at your desk and you are trying 47 new AI tools. Your Slack is blinking, I think is the word. Your manager sends you an email that says urgent, and then your colleague also sends you a mail that is urgent, and then you received a newsletter that is how to use AI effectively. Then you have an open tab in YouTube about tutorial. What are you going to do? How are you feeling in that situation?
Nothing.
Overwhelmed.
Step back and like make a small break.
Okay, make a small break. What else? Take a nap, okay.
You sit and you cry.
Set priorities.
Set priorities very well and work on one priority, not on hundreds of priorities. Okay, now let's continue to Alex. So here's what is the situation with Alex. He opened ChatGPT, he opened Copilot, then he opened another AI tool, then he opened YouTube tutorial to see how to work with that tool. Then he opened Slack, then he opened his email, then something in his head got broken. Then accidentally he booked a demo for software he still doesn't understand. So what happened in the end? He absolutely locked. And this is something absolutely normal because our brain cannot process too many threads at the same time. What we need to do with our brain is to give just one priority or two, or if you are a woman, you can do it three because it's proven that women can multitask a bit better, but still, it's much better if you give one priority and concentrate on that and only priority. When we have too much information too quickly, then our focus decreases. The quality of our decisions gets very bad because when we have different channels going on, we cannot take good decisions. Learning becomes very hard. When you have 100 things on your head, you cannot concentrate and learn productively. And what is worse is that your emotional fatigue increases, which means you are so tired, you are so bored that you just cannot keep pushing, or if you do, you get even more tired and at some point you may reach to burnout. So your system is overloaded. Too much input gets your memory full, your system gets overloaded and your performance drops down. So when we have all of this, our prefrontal cortex, for which I talk, this is here, the part of the brain that is considered that does the logical part of the brain, the creative part, it gets blocked. So it influences our focus, it influences our decision making, it influences our planning, our learning, our emotional regulation. So if we are too overloaded, then we become a bit passive aggressive or aggressive to our colleagues, or we get very tense. So we have to be careful about that. And our complex thinking just does not work. So we have to be quite careful about that. When our brain needs to learn rapidly all the new AI tools that exist, and at the same time, it needs to monitor for danger because all the change that happens is danger for the brain. Then this combination is exhausting, and our nervous system shifts from deep thinking, from creativity, and from strategic reasoning to short-term reactions. So we react, don't respond, to task switching, which is even more exhausting, to vigilance, and to self-protection. And long-term, this does not serve us well. What else happens is that our cortisol, which is the stress hormone, increases, and we are constantly under stress. So here is what Alex did in order to solve out this situation. He stopped using 7 different productivity apps. He unsubscribed for all 14 AI newsletters. And he and his team simplified their workflows. So now something fascinating happened. He could focus on what is really important, and he could think again. He could just focus. So if I have to, if you have to take one thing, if you are having this cognitive overload, then choose one thing, close all the necessary tabs, unsubscribe from everything, mute your Slack and your mail and concentrate. Ask yourself, what is one important thing that I could do now that would have high impact on everything else that I'm doing? How does it sound to you? Would that work? Are you going to try it?
Yes.
Okay, do you have questions? There is a surprise for those who ask. Okay, so then we go to the third nightmare of the brain. Let me check what is the time. And it is the identity threat. Do you know what is it? How do you understand that? identity threat. How does it sound? Any else?
Existential.
Existential, okay.
Lose yourself. You are losing yourself.
You're losing yourself, okay.
It sounds schizophrenic.
Okay, now let's.
It's if AI is gonna do what I do,
Okay, nice.
then
Then.
what am I?
Perfect. That's the point. Now imagine you have an intern, and this intern has like a year of experience. But this intern, with just several prompts, can do everything you have done for years. So all the things you have learned, all your experience could be changed just by somebody who did some prompting. How would you feel? Do you think it's possible? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Have you at some point considered that AI can do more than you can do? Okay. So here's what happened with Alex. He asked himself, what if AI makes me irrelevant? Because now with several prompts, AI can do everything that he learned for, that he did, and could compare to him. So he started comparing to AI and to the others. He's wondering, are the others better? Are the others adapting better? Am I becoming inefficient and not enough in the workspace? He's becoming insecure because he doesn't know what will happen in the future. He needs external validation. He needs from his colleagues, from his manager, to hear that he's still good enough and he is valuable. And he has a lot of uncertainty because he doesn't know what will happen. And when his identity is threatened, he starts avoiding challenging. So in the past, Alex was somebody who was going to try everything new, who was giving answers, who was experimenting. But now he starts to feel a bit not competent enough, and he just tries to be silent and to stay on meetings and doesn't say a word. He over focuses on his weaknesses. Now, instead of focusing on his strength and being on building on his strengths, he focuses on what he cannot do because he's feeling unconfident. And he started disengaging or procrastinating. So he at the moment is in a state where he performs, does not learn, because all this transformation caused a stress for him. And again, he is over-exaggerated image of what's going on, but some people are experiencing some of these symptoms, and yourself can be also experiencing that. So if you are, ask yourself, what is the real situation here? Is there really anything that I can be afraid of? And what is my real value behind all this? So the brain is deeply wired around identity. That's who am I, and what is my sense of self, of status, how I rank in the community, in my workplace, in the prehistoric times, in my tribe. How am I belonging, where I fit, what are my connections and competence, what I can do, what is my effectiveness. Because in the past, being respected, being useful, being needed, and survival has depended on that. Survival depended on all of this. And now, when our brain detects threat, it gets stress response, our emotions get out of control, and our focus narrows, our defensiveness increases, and our learning shuts down. And you can see that in the teams or in some people by resistance to new teams. I'm working with a colleague who does not accept any AI tool. So he's super suspicious to anything that AI do, and it's super strange because all the team is pushing towards, but he's holding back. And he's resisting everything that comes. He's protecting his old methods of doing the things. Even he sees that AI could save a lot of time and could help him to be more productive. He's constantly competing and comparing with the other colleagues, which causes tension between them. He's afraid of being replaced, of course. As I said, a lot of people are experiencing that, and he's dismissing AI or he's overreacting to it. So the thing is that AI does not threaten our work. It challenges our workflow. And the solution is that when people feel secure in their identity, they can learn, adapt, and grow. So, what Alex did, he shifted his identity from an expert to an adaptive learner. So, if in the past he was considered as somebody who has all the answers, who is super competent, now he had to detach from his identity, he built adaptability, he strengthened his human skills, and he normalized brain action. He focused on curiosity, resilience, critical thinking, communication, creativity, and empathy. So now the new model is not being an expert in everything, but learning, constantly adapting to what is going on. Questions do you have here? Yeah? Do you? Okay. So let's continue to cognitive offloading. This is the last nightmare of the brain. Actually, it's not a nightmare of the brain, actually, it's something that the brain likes. What do you think it is?
Outsourcing.
Outsourcing, yeah. The brain loves to outsource. If we can save energy for something, the brain would do it. So, in the past, we outsourced to calculators, to GPS, to shopping lists, to calendars. But now AI supercharges this tendency. What it means, we outsource writing, analysis, decision-making, creativity, and even thinking itself. And what Alex did is that he asked ChatGPT for everything, for when to eat, when to go to the toilet, what to do, almost everything. When somebody wrote in the chat something, he copied it, pasted in ChatGPT, and copied back the answer. So everything was about using the AI. And what happened in the brain? It started losing its strength. Because our brain, you can imagine it as a giant forest. And when we start doing something, a small pathway appears in that forest. And the more we do it, the bigger the pathway becomes. But once we stop doing it, the pathway becomes bushy. So if we don't train our brain, if we don't analyze, if we don't question, if we don't reflect, or if we don't solve problems, we will lose our capacity to think. And it's something that in the long term won't help us. You can imagine it as if you are going to the fitness, but somebody brings you there, you drink a coffee and gets you back. Are you going to have muscles? No. The same is with the brain. You need to use it in order not to lose it. So, how we can prevent the cognitive dependency? First, we need to think before asking the AI. It's difficult nowadays, but before you open that AI, think what I think in that situation, what I would do, how I would do that if there wasn't AI. Use AI as a thinking partner. What it means? You ask him to be critical. Ask him as a buddy who challenges you, so that you can think and not outsource all the thinking to it. Then protect deep thinking time. Take 30 minutes off your phone, off your computer, off anything, and think, reflect, dream, be creative, draw, whatever. Your brain needs that time. Otherwise, you are going to lose it. And keep the practical human skills, creativity, reflection, ethical judgment, communication, and problem solving. You need cognitive effort. If you outsource it to AI, you are treating your brain badly. Questions? No? Are you falling asleep? Do you need the exercise? Okay, yeah.
No, but going back to put the slide back.
Yeah? This one.
Yeah, because I think this is indeed where it's the most difficult, right? And you were using the example on the previous slide on the calculator, the GPS, the calendar. In all fairness, thanks God those tools exist, you know.
Yeah.
And so this will be the first time in the history where we invent a tool where it's gonna damage us, you know, like. So how do you see this is gonna be hard sales to not use AI, not outsource.
Okay. There is a difference. You can outsource what is like making analysis, doing something, but if you start outsourcing your thinking, your own thinking, then your brain gets sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but I remember my teacher, they used to tell me the same, you know, they used to say, you know, you will
About
not
the
have the
calculator.
calculator, you will know to, if you are in the jungle,
Yeah.
but yeah, no.
Depends.
It all depends on us.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen people who literally use it for everything.
Yeah,
And they
I know.
don't give it a thought. At least you are here, you listen, and you are questioning what I'm saying, which is good. You use your brain, so keep like that and keep using the AI. I don't say that you don't need it and you don't use it, but also use your brain.
I'm just saying this is going to be a hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
the answer to that, I guess, is in the previous slide where you say use AI, how to use AI to question. It's in the
Oh.
yeah, no, it was no. After. In how to, it's
This one.
no, the number two, I guess number two that's the key, because it's not okay, it's not lock it down and not use it, but it's the how to
How to enhance what skills you have.
exactly.
Yeah.
Could it be that there is like another perspective that
Mhm.
some aspects of brain will not work because we don't use them, but that we will develop something else, like some new capabilities, like similar to calculator. Sure, none of us can calculate,
Yeah.
but even better because we moved on to
Yeah.
some more complex topic.
Yeah, it's very important question. If we continue using and growing here, the point here is start using it for everything and stop growing. So if we do it like that and we search for other opportunities and we continue training and pushing inside the neural connection, then it's pretty okay.
But can it be like I understand and I fully agree. I just want to
Yeah.
challenge a little bit
Yeah, of
the
course.
thought. Can it be that the brain who doesn't have to do this, like some lazy brain, can it be that exactly this brain actually kind of works all the time on some like other topics, and that such person could then suddenly, you know, become like more unique or like more original, or you know, could it be that there is
Yeah,
some
usually in the brain it's about neural connections and neural pathways. So if we leave the space and be creative, for example, or think on some way, we can create these connections. Again, it's about using it in some way. Because if we outsource all the things to AI and we use the time to think, to create, then it's okay. Does it answer or still not?
yeah.
Okay.
Just I assume you need to do something, right?
Yeah, you need to do something. If you just don't do anything, just to watch TikTok, for example, and ChatGPT, then I'm not sure what will happen to your brain.
But we still don't know what changes in the brain, the development of the thumb fingers given to our kids.
Yeah, that's something that I'm auto citing my
Yeah.
my
Mhm.
talk, but it's the fact that we can't do everything doesn't mean that we should do everything.
Yeah. It's up to us, up to everybody,
Exactly.
to decide to which extent to use it and how to use it and how to use the other time. Okay, going on, and later I will give you a pen. Also to everybody, I will give you a pen.
I want my pen, please.
Of course. So, now what are the 5 steps that we can do in order to prepare our teams and ourselves? I did 4 teams, but it can apply to you. First of all, psychological safety. Do you know what it means? What it is?
Learning to be vulnerable.
Okay, very well. Very good definition. What else?
I would think it's more that they know that they will not be replaced or fired, or like to provide some environment in which it's okay that they don't know.
They feel safe.
Yeah.
Safe to fail, yeah.
Okay.
If
So,
possible, if you know that at the end you need to fire 50%,
yeah.
better not.
Okay. Any other ideas?
They won't be judged.
They won't be judged.
Yeah.
Very important. Yeah.
Yes.
It's about being who you are without being afraid that you will be judged or you will be punished or you will be kicked off, laid off. Yeah, psychological safety is about asking. You feel safe to ask questions. You feel safe to admit your mistakes. You share your ideas freely without being afraid that somebody would laugh at you or would judge you. You feel free to experiment. You feel free to disagree with your teammates. And you feel free free to learn publicly. And I'm working with a lot of teams, and not only in the AI context, and I see a lot of teams are lacking that. And most of the problems I think in the teams are because they don't have this psychological safety. It is something very important that we need to build in our teams, and it's not something super difficult. Especially if you are a leader, there are easy things to do it. There are easy conversations that you can do it. Well, it takes time, it takes effort, but it can be done. So, in the AI era, we have the uncertainty, we have this constant learning, constant context switching, we have the identity threat, as I said, we have the fear of looking incompetent, we have fear of becoming obsolete, and then people stay quiet, they stop sharing their ideas because they are afraid of all this. They avoid experimenting because again, they are afraid, they are not sure how to react. They pretend they understand, but no, they didn't. Yeah, have you been to a meeting where somebody says, okay, I know it, but actually it's obvious that they don't know it. I've been in such meeting and I did it myself, to be honest. And they resist change. So, from neuroscience perspective, what happens when there is no psychological safety? Cortisol of the people rises, their attention narrows because they are prepared for fight or flight. Their creativity drops, their learning slows, and they don't want to take risks. As a whole, this had bad effect. And if we have a safe environment where people can share, when they can experiment, when they can honestly admit, okay, I don't know that too, and I don't know how I'm going to use it, and yes, it's absolutely mess and embarrassment for me, then people can again have wide attention, they can be creative, they can learn, they can experiment, and they can take risks. So, what, if you are a leader, what you can do, normalize the uncertainty. Share with your team, okay, I know we are in a situation where everything changes every day. A new change is like a normal Monday. It happens. Every Monday there is something new. But it's normal. We are in that process together. All of us are experiencing the same. Just share it so that people can hear it. Then learn as a manager publicly. Don't be afraid or embarrassed to say, okay, I also learned that. That too, also, I haven't heard it, but we will find a way. We will find a way to learn and cope with that situation. Reward experimentation in your team. Celebrate when somebody is trying something new. Just give him a high five or appreciate about being open and trying something new. And then encourage questions. Curiosity is super important, and we need to be curious, not perfect. And communicate clearly, because if we don't have clear goals, and now in a situation where everything changes, we have a lot of unclarities. But just define a small, clear goal for the next 3 months or for the next 1 month if necessary, because people, when they have a goal, when they have a certainty, then they can adapt to it, and it's easier for them to go to that goal and to feel more relaxed and to feel that psychological safety. So psychological safety is no longer a soft skill, no, it's an AI readiness strategy, and it is #1 AI strategy. If you want your team to thrive, make sure you have the psychological safety in it. Do you have questions, comments? Anybody who disagrees? Yes?
Are we possibly skirting an issue?
Yeah?
Because one of the chief fears I hear, and I basically manage IT people,
Yeah.
right? One of the chief fears in their mind is that after we figure out how to use agentic engineering or AI, and how we do what we do, the company won't need as many of us, and that is kind of outside the personal fear factor, right? Because there's a reality is that this is a large enough shift. It's going to change organizational needs, how teams are structured, what staffing they need, and I don't see how you get around around that. So how do you provide psychological safety for your people when that's the case?
Yeah, I'll
That's
share
my
with my
question.
team. Yeah. Okay. I'm currently leading a team of 14 people, and we have the same. My manager wants me to to measure how we improved our work. And for example, if we did something for a month, now we can do it for a day, right? And all of that is measured and visible. So my people are also asking the same question: what I do in order to create or to perceive this, to continue this psychological safety. First, I'm absolutely honest with them. I say, okay, this is the current situation. This is what we are doing. This is what we are doing in order to be ready for the future. Now we are implementing new tools. We are trying to be like front runners so that we are prepared for what comes. And I'm absolutely honest for them. I say, okay, I don't know if in the next year there won't be any cutoffs or anything else. For the moment, I cannot hire new people. It's like I don't have this permission to hire new people. But yeah, I'm honest and I'm super supportive. And one thing that I keep repeating to my team, you need to be adaptable. I will talk about it. First important thing, be adaptable, be ahead of what is coming, be like foreseeing what is coming, to be ready and to be valuable in the future. And I ask every one of them and them as a team, what is the value that you bring or that we bring? So that if they decide to lay off somebody, it's not us, it's not my team, because we bring more value. It's how I do it. I'm honest. If I have to do it in one word, I'm honest. I'm absolutely bluntly honest with my team.
Yeah, I don't see a choice other than that realistically,
Yeah,
because they will see dishonesty really quickly.
We don't have any guarantees. What we can do is do our best at that moment to prepare for the future and be at our best now. We have this present moment, and we can look what's coming. So it's
My question was more around creating this psychological safety. I think it's okay that the leader has like these values and so on, but I see this topic as much bigger. For example, I work in Switzerland, and there is mentality there that is, it's not really only about the technical side of the work.
Yeah.
It's like the whole thing, how one is grown and educated and used to. It makes it subtle but very hard to actually arrive to a point where there would be such openness and so on. So, do you have experience with that, like the different mentalities have just different ways of doing, and one person in the team is not enough to now suddenly, be kind of openly share and so on?
Okay. My experience is first that the manager is the person who is infectious. So if you are a manager, then work on yourself first. First, you need to be open, to be vulnerable, to be like supportive to the people, and if they make mistake, to not to scold them, not to but to help them grow from that mistake. So it's the first thing. It starts from you as a manager, and then if you keep on doing that, at some point, the most the most open people will get infected by that, and they will start spreading the infection, if I can call it in that way. But at least for me and my experience, because I have been a manager for 10 years officially, but for that time, it's always, if I do something, I notice that the people start doing it. So for me, it's the formula of success. Yeah, and I think it doesn't matter the culture so much. Of course, it might be some differences. I have worked more with people from China and from India. From Switzerland, I haven't worked with teams, but I guess it will work like that. Yeah.
In South Africa, it's the same, I think.
The same?
Same culture, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, it takes time.
Yeah, it takes time. Yeah.
Depending on the starting point, it takes more time
Yeah.
for something.
Yeah. Absolutely. Anybody else? Okay. So, adaptability. I just tell what it is about, but yeah, how would you understand it? Being adaptable to everything that happens. Because the future, one thing is for sure, that the future keeps changing. Everything is changing, so we can be sure that tomorrow will be different, and after a month it will be different. And what we can do is to best prepare and to be best adaptable for what is coming on. So we need to have the right mindset that change is inevitable. If in the past we used to live in our comfortable zone, now everything is different. There is no comfort zone anymore. Now it's about changing. Of course, you can close yourself in a capsule and live in your comfort zone, but that won't last for very long. So you'd better train yourself to be ready to see the challenges as opportunities, to see everything that is coming as opportunity for you to grow and to become better. So, what is adaptability? To quickly adapt to change, to learn continuously, to stay effective, even under uncertainty, to update thinking and behavior, to recover from setbacks, and to remain flexible even under pressure. And when we all have that, we can adjust quickly, grow continuously, stay effective, think and act differently, and recover and move forward, and in the end stay flexible. So, if we have to look at the neuroscience that is connected with adaptability, the AI helps us not to have adaptable. AI creates ambiguity, constant learning, rapid change, and identity disruption. Then we have stress, higher stress, then our thinking narrows, and our experimentation decreases. So, how we can develop that adaptability? That is the important thing. First, in your team, normalize learning discomfort. It's absolutely okay not to know something and to learn and to make mistakes. Keep it for yourself and share it with your teams. Then reward experimentation. I already said it. If you are team lead, manager, reward your people for trying, for making mistakes. Show it, but do it like publicly, so that they can see that it's okay to fail, it's okay to experiment. Then develop cognitive flexibility. What does it mean? Look at one problem from all different sides. You can use ChatGPT or AI for being your sparring partner in that. So do it if necessary. If necessary, ask a colleague who has absolutely different thinking than you to take a look on that. But learn your people and share with your people that they need to look at the situation from different perspectives. One very important, one very easy tool that you can do when you have a problem, find a solution and now turn that solution upside down so that you can see the other perspective. Then create a psychological safety again, reduce cognitive overload, close all the tabs that you have, and practice continuous learning. If you are a leader, encourage curiosity, calmness, flexibility, visible learning, and most importantly, emotional regulation. It's very important. Sometimes when we are overloaded, when we have too much information, our brain gets very, very anxious and very tense. So as a manager, try to protect your people from that. Protect your attention. I already mentioned that is one of the nightmares of the brain. What we can do to protect our attention. How do you protect your attention? Any tools?
Avoiding distraction.
Okay. You put the earphones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Close other applications than the topical.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Disable notifications.
Okay.
Put my phone in the furthest location possible.
Okay, that's very good. There are some researches, by the way, that even if the phone is here, if it's turned, it distracts you. And once you are distracted, you need 15 minutes to get back in your concentrated time. So better.
Maybe 15 seconds.
No minutes.
15
For
minutes.
your brain to get in the, was it alpha or beta waves? I'm not sure which waves were, but the ones that get you in the flow.
Wow.
Yeah.
23 minutes.
Yeah.
Back to the tech.
So 15. It's 15.
Wow.
Yeah. So better put your phone away, block a slot of 90 minutes where you can productively work without any distraction, if possible. Nowadays it's a bit difficult, but if possible, just try and do it. Something very interesting research about the phones. If you are in a room with somebody and both of you have their phones, but they are here, there is like a research and experiment that is done, and it shows that people whose phones are there, people are talking, they smile less than when the phones are away and not visible. So yeah, be mindful of how you are using your phones. They can be a distraction even if they are not beeping and if their sound is muted. Yeah, like yours. Okay, so I said most of the time, so I won't get into that slides because I see people looking at their phones and having this. So AI amplifies distractions, notifications, information overload, and context switching and cognitive fragmentation. So when our brain was not designed for infinite input, it has limited attentional bandwidth, and it is good to protect it. What are some small habits that we can do? We can close all the unnecessary tabs, we can mute the notifications, we can breathe slowly. That's something that I didn't mention before. If you feel tense, if you feel overwhelmed, try inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 8. Twice longer the exhale. That gives a signal to your nervous system to calm down, and this could help you to concentrate. Also, I do some breathing like that. That also puts me in very good state before an important task. So you can try different breathing techniques. Define one priority and work on it, and create uninterrupted focus time. So you can put in your calendar a blocker for 90 minutes, because usually 90 minutes is the maximum that your brain can concentrate. Some people can do it for more, but 90 maybe is the optimal. Then take a break and then take another 90. AI-free time. Give yourself some time without the AI, without a laptop, without a phone, without anything. Just you and the nature. Go for a walk and forget your phone. That would help your brain. Your brain would be thankful after that. Switch off your old notification. Simplify your communication channel. Now, if you are using Teams, Slack, Viber, or whatever you are using, choose one and choose it. Yeah, is it possible or not a chance? No.
Especially for consultant who has.
Yeah. What about switching off the notifications for some period of time? It is possible. Okay, at least that you can do that. So you can use some focus rituals before important work. It's concentrating on what you want to do before the work, and avoid task switching. Task switching is a killer for the brain. So if you can do one task and then switch on the next when you are ready, that's the best. And your brain will be grateful. Then, normalizing learning. I already said, we have the old model of learning, who is becoming an expert, who is mastering the system, staying stable for years, being the senior in the team who knows everything, the almighty developer or whatever it is, avoiding mistakes and appearing competent, and all the juniors are asking you. Now, no longer like that. Now a junior can know more on a topic because he uses prompts. Now what we need to do is we need to experiment quickly and learn quickly and fail quickly and learn from that mistakes. We need to learn publicly. I already said it. When we share what we have learned, first we learn it better, and second, we spread it to the other people. Then we adapt continuously. If we need to learn a new thing, we need to learn that adaptability to be fast to learn and to experiment. Then, then we need to update our skills and to improve through iteration. This is the new model of learning. And new learning requires high curiosity, low threat, and experimentation to feel safe. Now, in the new era, these are the three most important things. And from the neuroscience perspective, our brains learns when it has all these three. Fear kills learning speed. So don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Just use everything that you have as something to learn and to make you to help you to grow. Now, we need a beginner mindset. So it doesn't matter how much experience you have. Imagine you are now like a baby starting to walk. Don't be ashamed of that. Don't be embarrassed. Be open and learn as much as possible, because the more you understand that there are new things coming every day and you need to adapt to them and you need to learn them, the better you will feel and the faster you will learn these tools. Make the learning visible, experiment, be curious, ask questions, and make, of course, intelligent mistakes, because the mistakes are the things that would help you grow. And almost finally, what are the skills that would be needed in the future? What do you think? Thank you. Do you take a pen? Yeah, you do. So, what are the skills? What do you think?
Making bread.
Make you?
Making bread.
Okay, making
Can
bread.
only do bread, huh? You don't need
Making the lawn, how it is said.
to do that already.
What
the
else?
Human skills.
The human
Yeah,
skills.
I mean,
Yeah.
empathy.
Yeah, okay.
Relationship.
Mhm. Yeah. What else? Any other ideas?
Critical thinking.
Critical thinking is very important skill, especially when we have AI that gives us all the answer. We need it, and we will need it more and more. Okay. What else? What?
Creativity.
Creativity. Okay.
I think also a reflection, like self-reflection and maybe some learnings that are not so obvious, so that then AI doesn't arrive to that so quick.
Okay. Nice. I like that. Anything else? Okay. Let's continue. Are you okay? Most of you. Okay. So now we have AI that can automate tests, it can generate content, it can analyze information, it can increase efficiency. But it cannot build trust. It cannot give meaning. It cannot make connections. It cannot be empathetic, and it cannot judge if something is ethical or not, at least for now. And most importantly, AI cannot understand if somebody is making passive-aggressive comment on what you are saying, right? It cannot understand. So we still need the human touch. AI cannot be here to look at all your faces and decide if you are falling asleep or not. So still, these are some, do you want to, I can send the slides after that, by the way. So just give me a message and I will send it. I'm not sure if there is like a big share where I can upload them. So, empathy, presence, deep listening, adaptability, critical thinking, trust building, human connection. These are only some of the things that AI cannot take away from us, at least for now.
Not yet.
Yeah, at least for now. So we can keep them for now and work on them and make them even stronger. I would, most of them are here repeating, but coaching would be something that is very important for managers to do. Coaching is asking questions, asking open questions. So something that we need to learn to do is asking our people, ourselves, open questions so that they make us thinking, they develop our critical thinking, and they can help us to be more adaptable and to learn faster. So how we can develop them? First of all, we need to be self-aware. As you said, we need to reflect on our reaction, triggers, and patterns. Then we need to practice difficult conversations. We need to protect our attention, to become comfortable, to be a learner, to develop emotional regulation. It's very easy to say, it's not so easy to do, but with practice, it happens. To strengthen our connection with each other. Being connected with the people in the room is something that will remain as valuable as it is today. Your critical and creative thinking are super important, and they will be important. Because, of course, the AI can give some critical or creative stuff, but it's not like we do it. And, again, create some space for deep thinking. Final thing, it's prompting as coaching. Now, if we want to prompt in the right way, we need to give the AI the context and the role, the intent and the nuance, and the constraints. And what research, some researchers are noticing is that when we learn our people to do it, then they become even better communicators with their real teams. So if we had a person in our team who couldn't say in the right way, who couldn't communicate very well, now after we learn that person to talk with the AI, to give context to the AI, to give intent and nuance to the AI, and to give constraints, It turned out that the same person started doing that with his teammates, and now they can understand him better. So it's very important. We should learn our people that communicating with the AI is not like Google search, of course, most of the people already know it, but it's something that could help them to be even better communicators. Do you have questions?
I have observation.
Yeah.
It looks like AI can help us become better people
Yeah,
than before.
yeah, especially with the last one. We can, it's like I would say everything is like that. You can either use it for your advantage or your, not disadvantage, but yeah, you can use it as your disadvantage. So it's up to us to decide how to do it and choose it in the best way. So I have put all this information into a framework that you can use with your teams. It's the ADAPT framework. It consists of all the things that I've mentioned so far. I won't go through all the slides one by one. I will go into that one. That is combination of all. So if we want to be prepared for what is coming, for all the changes that are coming, because as I said, there is one thing that is sure, and that is the world is changing forward. So first we need to be aware. We need to understand how stress, how all these changes impact our performance and the performance of our teams. So ask yourself now, for yourself or for your team, how is all the changes that are going on affecting you? What is one thing that you can do to become more aware of that? What is one question that you can ask your team members so that you can understand better? Then it's to decrease the threat. I all the time mistake that word, the threat. So you need to reduce the fear and ambiguity in yourself and in your team. So ask yourself, what is one thing, one step that you can do tomorrow to decrease the threat you are feeling for yourself or for the team? You can communicate openly, you can be transparent, you can normalize uncertainty, and you can stay calm and grounded. But what is something else that you can do immediately tomorrow with your teams and for yourself and with your colleagues? Then focus on the attention management. What is that thing that you can do so that you can protect your attention and the attention of your colleagues? You can eliminate distractions, you can prioritize what matters, you can encourage deep work, you can guard attention like a strategic asset. Most importantly, ask yourself, what is one thing that I need to do today so that it has highest impact? What are these 20% on which I can focus today so that I have 80% of result tomorrow? So focus on that attention. Then the psychological safety. How you can feel safer and how you can make your team and your colleagues feel safer. What are these things? And then train adaptability. Work on adaptability. Think about what is one thing that you can do every day in order to train yourself to be more adaptable for the future that is coming. What is one thing? You can after that look at that and think for yourself. Take 30 minutes to write the answers of the questions. What will make you more aware, or what is the current situation now? How you can decrease threat, how you can manage your attention better, how you can create better psychological safety, and how you can become more adaptable. Try that and reflect on the answer. They might be the key for better adapting for what is coming in the future. So AI, in a world that is transformed by AI, the ultimate competitive advantage may not be the technology itself, because technology is changing. There is like a huge wave of new things that are appearing, but the most important thing is the ability to help people involved with the technology. So, if your team, if you want to know if your team is ready or not, you can write me. I will send you a free tool, free questionnaire to assess your team or to assess yourself and to see the result. You can find me on LinkedIn. This is my website. You can also find some information. It's not very updated, but still. So, yeah, thank you very much. It was really great to be here. And I'm very grateful for all the questions you have. And if you have more, I'm ready to answer them. Thank you. Anybody questions? If not, you can take and come some pen and yeah, and also stickers.
Stickers.
Ah, they are very positive. Okay, choose a color. Okay, and the pen are with special. How to say? Okay. Yeah, you can take two.
Oh, one is good.
And in the meantime, if you have questions, I can still answer them. I will stop that, by the way.